late now.
Welcome back to Comedalgia, your home for the stories that built Hollywood. In 1977, a low-budget car film called Smokey and the Bandit didn't just hit theater, it exploded into a cultural phenomenon. While everyone was looking at the stars in Star Wars, the Bandit was ruling the asphalt right here on Earth. Today, we're peeling back the layers of tire smoke to reveal 15 incredible facts that most fans never noticed. Make sure to subscribe to Comedalgia for more deep dives into the classic. Now, let's put the hammer down.
You know something, Sheriff?
What?
If JW don't get out of my way, I'm gonna pass him.
Where in the woods?
Number 1. The handwritten disaster of a script. Imagine being the world's biggest movie star and being handed a screenplay written on yellow legal pads. That is exactly what happened to Burt Reynolds. When director Hal Needham, who was actually Reynolds' longtime friend and stunt double, pitched him the idea, the script wasn't even typed. It was a messy collection of handwritten notes, half-baked ideas, and scribbled vibes that looked more like a grocery list for a car crash than a professional Hollywood document. Reynolds famously told Needham that it was the worst script he had ever read. There was barely any dialogue and almost no coherent plot. However, the bond between a star and his stunt double is unbreakable. Reynolds knew Needham had spent years jumping off buildings and getting hit by cars just to make him look good on camera. He said yes out of pure loyalty to repay a debt of bruises and broken bones. This terrible script eventually became the second highest-grossing movie of the year, proving that sometimes you just need a good friend and a fast car.
No. When you tell somebody.
Number 2. The chaos of total improvisation. If you ever felt like the conversations in the movie felt too real, it's because they often were. According to Sally Field, who played Carrie, there was almost no usable script by the time the cameras actually started rolling. This wasn't a case of actors changing a few words. It was a production where they often had no idea what they were going to say until the director yelled, "Action!" Field took the role as a leap of faith because she wanted to try something light and fun. The chemistry you see on screen was built on genuine reaction. If something was funny, it stayed in the movie. If it wasn't, they just kept driving and tried again. The script supervisor eventually gave up entirely. Trying to keep track of the dialogue in this movie was described as trying to organize a tornado. That raw, unscripted energy is exactly why the jokes land so well. They sound like real people misbehaving and having the time of their lives.
Decorating up a whole town at a cost of $40. Right.
Number 3. Jackie Gleason's one-man show. While the entire cast was improvising, Jackie Gleason took it to a level of genius that no one expected. As Sheriff Buford T. Justice, Gleason was given total creative freedom to invent the character from scratch. One of his most important contributions was a demand. He refused to be alone in the police cruiser. He told the director he needed someone to talk at, yell at, and emotionally steamroll for the entire duration of the film. This demand gave birth to the character of Junior, the sheriff's son. Junior wasn't even in the original plan, but Gleason knew he needed a victim for his comedic rants. It is estimated that nearly 90% of everything the sheriff says was made up by Gleason on the fly. He even came up with the legendary diner scene where he unknowingly sits next to the bandit. Gleason even directed Burt Reynolds during that scene, telling him to keep wiping his eyes to show how physically unbearable the sheriff's presence was.
What the hell is this, a drive-in movie?
Number 4. The real identity of Buford T. Justice. The name Buford T. Justice sounds like a perfect caricature, but it was actually a tribute to a real-life lawman. The name belonged to a genuine Florida Highway Patrol officer who knew Burt Reynolds' father, who was the police chief of Riviera Beach. So, while the character was over the top, he was carrying the name of a man who actually wore a badge. Reynolds used his childhood memories of hanging around police stations to help flesh out the character's personality. He had spent years listening to officers complain, rant, and verbally dismantle people who broke the law. Interestingly, most of the sheriff's vocabulary and his favorite insults were actually taken directly from Reynolds's father. When the sheriff calls someone a sumbitch, that was the exact word Reynolds's dad used for anyone who stepped out of line. It wasn't just acting, it was a memory brought to life.
Telling you, right here ain't gonna be no problem.
Well, I can see he's gonna be a major asset.
And besides, Annie's...
Number 5. The original Bandit was Jerry Reed. In the early days of development, Smokey and the Bandit was never intended to be a blockbuster. Director Hal Needham originally envisioned it as a low-budget, $1 million B-movie. In this version, the star wasn't going to be Burt Reynolds. It was going to be country music star Jerry Reed. Reed had the southern charm and the cool factor to carry a small-scale film. However, everything changed the moment Burt Reynolds showed interest. Suddenly, Universal Pictures opened their checkbook, and the budget shot up from $1 million to over $5 million. With more money came bigger expectations, and the roles had to be shifted. Jerry Reed wasn't kicked off the project. Instead, he was moved to the role of Cletus Snowman Snow. It turned out to be a perfect move for the chemistry of the film. Years later, when Reynolds declined to return for the third movie, Jerry Reed finally got to step into the Bandit's shoes, proving he was always meant for the role.
What the hell was that?
A left, or half of you.
Number 6. The Not Sexy Enough controversy. One of the most baffling behind-the-scenes stories involves Sally Field and the studio executives. Universal Pictures initially tried to block her casting because they didn't think she was sexy enough to be a romantic lead. At the time, she was pigeonholed as a wholesome TV actress. Burt Reynolds, however, had seen her perform in the drama Sybil and knew she had incredible talent and range. Reynolds fought the studio executives hard to keep her in the movie. For Field, the role was a chance to prove everyone wrong and show that she could handle a major motion picture role that wasn't just cute or nice. The studio's mistake actually helped launch her career into a new stratosphere. It serves as a classic example of Hollywood executives being completely wrong about what an audience actually wants to see on screen.
You got your ears on?
You lucky devil.
Number 71. How's our time doing?
Number 7. A real love story on the asphalt. The romance between the Bandit and Carrie wasn't just movie magic. It was happening in real life right on the set. During the production, Reynolds and Field fell deeply in love, sparking a relationship that would last for 5 years. This real-life connection is why their scenes together feel so intimate and genuine. Because so much of the movie was improvised, their acting was often just two people genuinely trying to make each other laugh or impress one another. Reynolds became one of Field's biggest supporters, constantly telling her how talented and beautiful she was. This boosted her confidence as a leading lady in Hollywood. Long after they broke up, Reynolds would go on to admit that Sally Field was the love of his life and the one person he truly regretted losing.
Dad, I don't believe that's necessary.
Never mind.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you want that beer so bad?
Because he's thirsty.
Number 8. The theme song created in a flash. Usually, finding the perfect theme song takes months of searching, but for this movie, it took only a few hours. Hal Needham told Jerry Reed that he needed a song that could explain the entire plot of the movie in a single track. Reed nodded, went away for a few hours, and came back with Eastbound and Down. When Reed played the song for the director, Needham was so stunned by how perfect it was that he allegedly told Reed, "If you change one note of that, I'll kill you." The song did exactly what it was supposed to. It summarized the entire long way to go, short time to get there mission in under 3 minutes. It became so inseparable from the movie's identity that hearing that opening riff immediately makes you think of a black Trans Am flying down the road.
How about Gorgeous?
You can't have him.
Well, obviously you can. What are you trying to do, start another race?
Number 9. The real-life beer smuggling business. The entire plot of the movie is based on a quirk of American history, the scarcity of Coors beer. In 1977, Coors was not available east of the Mississippi River. Because it wasn't pasteurized and contained no preservative, it had to be kept cold from the brewery in Colorado all the way to the consumer. This meant it was only distributed in 11 western states. Because it wasn't licensed for sale in states like Georgia, hauling large quantities across state lines was technically bootlegging. People actually did Coors runs, loading up their trunks to bring the forbidden beer back home. Hal Needham got the idea for the film when he realized his hotel maid in Georgia was stealing the Coors he had brought with him from California. He realized that a high-speed beer run was the perfect motivation for a car chase movie. Number 10. How a movie created a car icon before Smokey and the Bandit. The Pontiac Trans Am was just another sporty car. After the movie, it became a legend. Sales figures tell the story. In 1977, Pontiac sold about 68,000 Trans Am. Within 2 years of the movie's release, that number exploded to over 117,000. Audiences didn't just want a car, they wanted that car. The black and gold special edition. The president of Pontiac was so grateful for the sales boom that he promised Burt Reynolds a brand new Trans Am every single year for the rest of his life. This promise only ended when that executive retired. The Trans Am wasn't just a prop in the movie. It became a symbol of rebellion and identity for an entire generation.
It's me they're after. They don't even know Cletus Snow exists.
Oh, they don't. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Number 11. The CB radio revolution. The Bandit didn't just change what people drove, he changed how they talked. Before 1977, CB radios were primarily used by professional truckers. After the movie, everyone in America wanted a handle. The film poured high-octane fuel on the CB radio craze, leading to people using trucker slang in their daily lives. Suddenly, people who had never driven a truck were calling their friends "good buddy" and warning each other about Smokey Bears, police, over the radio. From accountants to suburban parents, everyone wanted to sound like an outlaw trucker. It was a cultural moment where everyone felt like they were part of a secret club, even if they were just driving to the grocery store. Number 12. The physics-defying bridge jump. If there is one image that defines the film, it's the Trans Am flying over the broken Mulberry River Bridge. This wasn't just a clever camera trick. It was a massive, one-shot gamble. The gap was actually too wide for the car to clear normally, and even the legendary stuntman Hal Needham wasn't sure it would work. To make it happen, the crew added a liquid-powered rocket booster to the rear of the car. Without that extra kick, the car would have crashed straight into the river. They also lightened the engine and reinforced the front end to keep the nose from diving. The landing was so violent that it bent the car's chassis and destroyed the transmission. That car never drove again, but that single airborne moment became the money shot that defined the entire movie.
All units converge. Copy, Chopper 1. I'm on my way.
Number 13. Real cops versus movie cops. The production was so realistic that actual law enforcement tried to shut it down multiple times. Hal Needham refused to fake the speed, so they were often filming at high speeds on public roads. The problem was that the local police weren't always informed about the filming schedule. During one chase sequence, a real police officer, completely unaware a movie was being made, drove his cruiser right into the middle of the shot. The crew had to scramble to convince the officer that they were a legitimate Hollywood crew with permits. Meanwhile, local dispatchers were being flooded with calls from residents reporting reckless drivers and high-speed chases. Needham later joked that the production probably caused more real police chases than the ones they actually filmed. Number 14. A near-deadly incident. For all its humor, there was one moment on set that almost ended in disaster. It happened during the scene where the Bandit drives through a Little League baseball field to escape the police. On camera, it looks like a fun, reckless chase. Behind the scenes, the driver momentarily lost control of the vehicle. The car veered off its planned path and headed straight toward a group of children who were working as extras. For a few terrifying seconds, It looked like a comedy was going to turn into a nightmare. Fortunately, the driver regained control just in time and nobody was hurt. Burt Reynolds later recalled this as one of the scariest moments of his entire professional life.
No, it blew up on the side of the road, and then I ended up in this goddamn airplane. What do you do?
I don't remember.
Number 15. The King of the Paycheck. By 1977, Burt Reynolds was the undisputed king of Hollywood. Universal knew they couldn't make the movie without him, so they paid him a flat $1 million. At the time, that was an astronomical amount for a car movie. In fact, his salary alone was more than what every other actor and crew member on the film made combined. Just 2 days before filming began, the studio tried to cut the budget by $1 million. Since Reynolds' salary was locked and non-negotiable, the cuts had to come from the production itself. This forced the crew to rely even more on improvisation and guerrilla-style filmmaking. This lack of money is actually what gave the movie its unique, high-energy personality. It was a production that had to think fast and move even faster. From handwritten legal pads to rocket-powered jumps, Smokey and the Bandit is a testament to the power of pure momentum. It shouldn't have worked, yet it became a masterpiece of outlaw cinema. Which of these secrets surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love the classics as much as we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Comedalgia. Until next time, we're eastbound and down, over and out.